mine, before, of course, much before you accepted the Senate appointment, asked me, because he was an avid watcher of Mike Duffy Live, and he said, is Mike Duffy a conservative, do you think? And I said, well, let me say this. And this came from actually that same week I'd been on the bus with a group of MPs heading up to the House of Commons, center block. And I said, the Liberals on the bus were saying Mike Duffy was a conservative, and the Conservatives on the bus were saying he's a Liberal. Sure. So it seems to me that you had everybody fooled, and especially us political types, and you were good at the job you did, and you showed no bias.
Well, I think that's what it was all about. I mean, nobody elects journalists to tell them how to vote. We're there to provide a platform so that politicians, opposing points of view, can have their say, and then let them decide, let the voters decide how they want to vote. So I've never considered that I was some kind of avenging angel of journalism that was going to come and solve the problems of the world. If you want to do that, do what you did, Rick. Run for office. It has never been my belief that that's the role of journalists. But ever since Watergate, young people have been going into journalism school saying, I'm going to go there and bring down the establishment, and I'm going to rah, rah, rah. And it's been funny to watch. It would be funny, perhaps, if it weren't so serious. Mm-hmm. So many young people who come in with the idea of having a mission. If you've got a mission, join a party, get elected. That's what a democracy
Thank you for that.
wants.
Now, of course, this week, we've just ended the week, and it was, we were celebrating Women's Day, Women's Week, actually. And we were having a little discussion before this program, about some of the...
Duff the Feminist.
Duff the Feminist. I wonder if you could just tell the folks about Duff the Feminist.
Well, this is a question I get asked at many colleges and universities, especially by young men who are concerned that affirmative action programs hurt them. And I tell the truth, and I say, look, I would not be what I am today, fat and bald. No, I would not be a journalist with a daily TV show if it were not for the women's movement. And they go, what? How could that be? Well, you got to rewind the tape 40 years back to what it was like in the 60s. And everybody on the radio had a big, deep voice, and there were very few women, and the women who were on the air sounded like men. And then all of a sudden, the women's movement started saying, hey, that isn't fair. Women should have jobs on radio. Why should it only be the men? And so as women started to get their rightful place being heard on the airwaves, men with light voices got chances as well. A rising tide raises all boats. So I got on first with the Chum group of stations, and then CBC Radio came to me and hired me. And I got lucky with some politicians who were kind enough to give me a few tips on stories. And I remember Trudeau telling his staff, did you hear Duffy Kravitz on the radio this morning? He had some Bryce Krispies. And of course, a reference to Duddy Kravitz, the little hustler who was in the Mordecai Richler books. And he had some Bryce Krispies, i.e. some tidbits, which he suggested were coming from Bryce Mackesy, who was a federal Liberal cabinet minister. And so I was lucky because people like Bryce Mackesy and others were kind to me and tipped me off on stories. And I started breaking stories, and people started paying attention. And then TV said, well, he's very good as a reporter, but he's too fat to be on TV. And it took a woman, Trina McQueen, was the executive producer of the CBC National News. And she came and asked me 3 times to come on the National in the 70s. And I said, thanks, but no thanks. And I said that twice. Finally, she flew down and said, what's the problem? And I said, I don't want to fail. And she said, what? I said, I don't want to fail. Look at TV. There are no fat people on TV except for comedians like Jackie Gleason. There were no overweight journalists on TV, and certainly no overweight women. And she said, I'll fix that. And she picked up the phone and called the boss of CBC Radio and asked him to write me a letter that said if I would go on TV on a trial basis, and if it didn't work out, I could have my old job back on the Hill. And
Really?
It took a woman to give an overweight man a chance on TV. And so when people bark about the women's movement, I say, hey, hold on. The women's movement has helped men as well.